Let me tell y'all something real quick about faith. And I'm not just talking about the kind of faith you hear about in church, although that's important too. I'm talking about the kind of faith that makes you hold on to your dreams when everyone else is telling you to let them go. I'm talking about that deep down belief that you're meant for something bigger, even when your current situation looks like the complete opposite of success. See, the first step to unlocking your full potential is believing in the vision that God has placed in your heart. And let me tell you, when you get a vision, it's not going to make sense to everybody. Shoot, it might not even make sense to you at first, but that's the point. Faith ain't supposed to make sense. Faith is about believing in the unseen, trusting in the unknown, and moving towards something that only you and God can see. You got to be so sold on your vision that no amount of doubt, no amount of criticism, and no amount of failure can shake you off that path. Let me break it down for you. When I first started in comedy, nobody believed I could make it. I was a young man from a small town with no connections in show business, and to top it all off, I had a stutter. People said, "Steve, you want to be on TV? Boy, you can't even talk right." But here's the thing, just because they couldn't see the vision doesn't mean I didn't have one. The vision wasn't theirs to see. It was mine. And the vision came from God, so how could I not trust it? Now, that doesn't mean the road was easy. Far from it. There were times when I was so broke, I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. I lived in my car for 3 years, y'all. 3 whole years of waking up cramped, cold, and hungry. But guess what? I never stopped believing in that vision. I had to remind myself every single day that what I was going through was temporary and that something better was coming. And that's the hardest part for most people, having faith when your situation looks hopeless. Anybody can believe when things are going well, but real faith is believing when everything around you is telling you to quit. People ask me all the time, "Steve, how did you get through those hard times? How did you keep going when it seemed like nothing was working?" And my answer is always the same. I had faith in the vision. I knew deep down in my soul that God didn't put me on this earth to be mediocre. He didn't give me the desire to be a comedian for no reason. He put that dream in my heart, and I had to trust him to make a way even when I couldn't see the way myself. You see, the problem with most people is that they let fear talk them out of their dreams. They let doubt keep them from moving forward. They listen to what other people say instead of trusting what God has already shown them. Let me tell you something. Other people's opinions can't stop God's plan for your life. The only person who can stop you from reaching your full potential is you. If you give up, if you let go of that vision, if you stop believing, then yeah, you'll never make it. But if you hold on, if you keep the faith, if you trust the process, even when the process seems impossible, that's when the magic happens. And here's the thing about faith. It requires action. Faith without works is dead. You can't just sit around praying and hoping for things to get better. You have to take steps toward your vision, even if they're small steps. When I was living in my car, I didn't just sit there feeling sorry for myself. I was hitting every comedy club I could find, telling jokes for free, sleeping in parking lots afterward. I was acting on my faith. Every time I stepped on that stage, I was telling the world, I believe in my dream. So here's what I need y'all to understand. Faith in your vision means believing in the unseen and moving in the direction of your dreams, no matter how hard the road gets. It means trusting that God's plan for your life is bigger than your current circumstances. And it means acting on that faith every single day, even when you feel like giving up. Because if you can do that, if you can hold on to your vision through the struggles and the setbacks, you will unlock the full potential that's been inside you all along. Trust me, I'm living proof of it. Let me tell y'all something real quick. If you want to unlock your full potential, you've got to learn how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, I know that doesn't sound fun. I know nobody likes hearing that. Everybody wants success to be easy. We want the dreams to come, the money to flow, and the path to be smooth. But let me tell you, success doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. If you're serious about growing, about reaching your full potential, you've got to step out of your comfort zone every single time. Most people are living beneath their potential because they're too scared to be uncomfortable. Think about it. People stay in dead-end jobs for years because it's comfortable. They stay in relationships that don't serve them because it's familiar. They don't chase their dreams because that would mean risking failure, rejection, and disappointment. But here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not reaching your full potential. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that being uncomfortable feels good. It doesn't. When I was living in my car, when I was broke, hungry, and struggling, that was uncomfortable. There's no way around that. But what I've learned over the years is that every uncomfortable situation you go through is teaching you something. Every setback, every struggle, every moment when you feel like giving up is shaping you into the person you need to become to handle the success that's waiting for you. Because here's the thing, success is not just about achieving something. It's about becoming someone. And you can't become that person if you're always playing it safe, staying in your little bubble where nothing challenges you. Let me give you an example from my own life. When I was starting out in comedy, I was bombing on stage, y'all. I'm talking about some nights where nobody was laughing. I felt like a failure. But you know what? I kept getting up there. I kept putting myself in uncomfortable situations because I knew that's where the growth was happening. Every time I bombed, I learned something. I learned how to adjust my timing, how to read the audience, how to get back up after failing. If I had quit after those first few rough nights, I wouldn't be where I am today. The discomfort was part of the process. But it's not just about discomfort in terms of failure. It's about taking risks too. Sometimes you've got to step into situations that are uncertain, that are risky, because that's where the biggest rewards are. When I left my job to pursue comedy full time, I was scared. I didn't know where my next paycheck was coming from, but I couldn't let fear stop me from chasing what I knew I was meant to do. And yeah, it was uncomfortable, but that leap of faith is what pushed me to grow. Most people never take that leap. They stay in their comfort zones because it's safe there, it's predictable. But guess what? Nothing extraordinary ever happens in the comfort zone. Think about anyone you admire, whether it's a successful entrepreneur, a great athlete, or a top performer in any field. They didn't get to where they are by staying comfortable. They got there by putting themselves in challenging, uncomfortable situations over and over again. They stretched themselves beyond what they thought they were capable of. And that's how they grew. You got to understand that discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is your friend. Discomfort is the thing that's going to push you to levels you never thought you could reach. So many people think that when they feel uncomfortable, it's a sign that they should stop, that they're on the wrong path. But that's not true. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that's a sign that you're growing, that you're stepping into something new. And new is good because new means progress. But let me be real with you. It's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are going to be times when you want to quit, when the discomfort feels like too much to handle. There are going to be days when it seems easier to just go back to what's familiar, to what's safe. But those are the moments when you've got to push through. Those are the moments that separate the people who succeed from the people who don't. The people who succeed are the ones who keep going when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when they feel like giving up. They embrace the discomfort because they know that's where the growth is. Here's the bottom line. If you want to unlock your full potential, you've got to be willing to get uncomfortable. You've got to be willing to do things that scare you, that challenge you, that make you question yourself, because on the other side of that discomfort is your breakthrough. On the other side of that discomfort is the person you're meant to become. So the next time you're facing a challenge, the next time you feel like you're in over your head, remember this: that feeling of discomfort is temporary, but the growth you get from it will last forever. Every time you step into an uncomfortable situation, you're getting one step closer to unlocking your full potential. And that's what this is all about. It's about growth. It's about pushing past the limits you've placed on yourself and discovering that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, and I promise you, you will unlock doors you never even knew existed. You will reach heights you never imagined. But it all starts with that first step, getting out of your comfort zone and stepping into the unknown. Trust me, it's worth it.